All praise to the Most High. 1 second, 1 second. Yeah, leave that thumbnail up there for just a second. We're just going to open up. Well, today is definitely a demonic day out here. It is a reminder to our enemies that this is celebratory for them. To us, it's detrimental and derogatory. It represents our complete abuse. It represents our complete exploitation and us being dominated to the point where we have no semblance of sanity at all. I'm just going to open up, hit the button, put my video. I just add this. This just came at the last minute. I said I have to start it off like this. Hit the button. Let's get it right. Come on.
You don't know how black humor started. It started in slave ships, you know. Cat was always where we were rowing. You know, the dude said, "What you laughing about, man?" So yesterday I was a king. They're having a bicentennial, 200 years. Gonna have a bicentennial nigga. They will. They have some nigga 200 years old in blackface with stars and stripes on his forehead. Eyes, lips just shining. And he'll have that lovely white folks expression on his face. But he's happy. He's happy because he's been here 200 years. Said, I'm just so thrilled to be here. Over here in America, I'm so glad y'all took me out to die, homie. I used to live to be 150. Now I die of high blood pressure by the time I'm 52. And that thrills me to death. I'm just so pleased America's gonna last. They brought me over here in a boat. There was 400 of us come over here. 360 of us died on the way over here. I love that. That just thrills me so. I don't know, you white folks are just so good to us. Got over here, another 20 of us died from disease. But you didn't have no doctors to take care of us. I'm so sorry you didn't. Upset you all some too, didn't it? Then they split us all up. Yes, sir. We took my mom over that way, took my wife that way, took my kids over yonder. I'm just so happy. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do if I don't get 200 more years of this. Lord of mercy. Yes, sir. I don't know where my old mama is now. She up yonder in that big white folks in the sky. Y'all probably done forgot about it. But I ain't gonna never forget it.
Boom. Many of y'all might not know about where this comes from, because I know we have like this ageism thing when it comes to generational understanding of just what our fathers and just our regular fathers, even grandfathers went through, and this young generation have probably no clue of what just went out. That was Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, as y'all know, was a stand-up because he passed away. He passed away, but he did a stand-up and he was very conscientious. He wasn't just your regular laughing type of Negro type of person. There was always content, seriousness about what he was bringing. He would bring real problems that would go on in our communities, realities of what goes on in black families and so forth, and he put it out there on the stage. And because of the racism of this country, America dealt with black people basically like you hiding insects or you're hiding rodents, and they don't want what they've done to us to be on the mainstream. That's the reason why there's such a climate to be against spokespersons that will bring the plight of what happens to us in the ghetto on a world stage, because America is trying to put out a put out a facade that they're really about justice and judgment and righteous judgment and all that. But then if the people come in and go past the veneer of what they're trying to do and actually go to the ghettos, and they'll find some terrible things, and they'll be like, well, how in the world are you going to come over in our land and tell us about democracy and tell us about the way we should be, old lady land of liberty and all that? And look how you're dealing with the people who built this damn country. Look how you deal with them. So America don't want that. America don't want that kind of reality to hit the world stage. So they rather hide us. It's like you hide the bad things when people come over. You sweep the dirt in the closet, or you sweep it up underneath your rugs and all that. You hide it. You understand? Give me that in the Bible, the four corners. You should be hidden into corners. Deuteronomy. I'm just throwing this out here, just real quick. This is what's happening, and there's a rot that's going on with us that has to be told. The Most High got it in the Bible for a reason. Okay. You got it? Who's reading?
Myself and Officer Lyon.
Okay, bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 26. I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
So nobody would really, that scripture is perfect for what I just said. I will cause the remembrance of what happened to us to cease from before men. And we just think it's just written in prophecy. No, there's a way on how this is done. Your story does not get told in schools. Your stories don't get told on television. Your stories, they don't really want you to have any newspapers or anything to tell the world about what you're experiencing. Even to the point that when we try to bring up what's really going on with us, they have turned the term black fatigue into something else. Turned it around. Like, stop that crying. Stop that hollering. You're always begging. Why are you always complaining to such and such? And a total dismissal of your pain and anguish. So they rather hide us, abuse the hell out of us, and then hide us, and then give us just enough dope to rejoice, to say that we're okay. The celebrating of the quote-unquote 4th of July or the 4th of you lied, I say it that way, is basically a covering for a sick mind. You leave there, I wrote down on in my notes, I just wonder, how many more Sandra Blands are we going to have perhaps today with all this celebration? How many Rasheem Carters are we going to have today? How many shootings are we going to get? How many dead brothers going to end up just getting shot, even by ourselves? It ain't got to be all Esau, because the mindset that we have against each other came from them. We're basically white men with black bodies, meaning the minds of us are white. So we see each other and kill each other, and then it'll be a black face, but the person inside the body is just like their oppressor. And we'll do that to each other. I'm just going to check, the Lord willing, because we all got to make it through this stupid, crazy weekend. But when the smoke clears from the stupid fireworks, we got to check the news report and see how many of our people died in this foolishness. Hands blown off and all that kind of stuff. Mess with that thing. All right, put the title up there. Okay? All right. 250 years of celebration and 400 years of sweat equity. Sweat equity. Now, I know when people say 250 years, because quote-unquote America is celebrating their 250th year from their independence from Britain. 1776, July 4th, that kind of thing. When they separated from, or got, quote-unquote, got their independence from their brothers, Great Britain. You dig it? And then 400 years of sweat equity is longer than 250 years, so we've been slaving and toiling before this place even became, quote-unquote, America. You understand? So we've been catching the total abuse the moment we were dragged here and brought off the ships. So it's never been a good day for us. I want to give a quick shout-out to Captain Gideon this morning and Deacon Malachi. They had very good shows today. I did watch it. A lot of good information. And all praise to the Most High. So we're going to keep on in the spirit of that thing. And by the way, that Psalms 91, that was some good stuff there. There's a lot of good components in that prayer. Okay? It's a beautiful thing. We do dwell in the sanctity of the Most High, because as we are to harness and buckle down into the rights and into the commandments and into the spirit of the Lord on this Sabbath day, at the same time we have our enemies that are praying for our complete destruction, and they're celebrating the fact that we are basically mute to ourselves. And that's what they're really celebrating, because if we were not here, they wouldn't be celebrating nothing. The whole fact that the country is even moving in a particular direction, meaning in terms of their prosperity, is an affirmation on the destruction that happened to us. I've even read in certain documents that America is more prosperous after slavery than when we were in slavery. I've seen that. I've brought that report out on several programs that we did up in here. America is more prosperous after slavery in terms of exploiting us than they were when we were in slavery. Because you got to think about it. When we were in slavery, we still had our minds. Physical slavery. We still fought to be free. That took work and effort. He said, this is too much work for me. I can't get any sleep. So I need to do things to make them be willing slaves where I can sleep in comfort. And he used our women in many cases. And that's what he did. And basically put out an indoctrinational program to make us enslave ourselves, make us do evil to each other. And while at the same time the merchants have come in, the businesses have come in, all of the nations have sought to suck the blood from us. Move into your neighborhood, set all kinds of shops and this and that and the other, and literally drain every piece of dollar that you work for from the plantation that you work on, because you don't really get a chance to do anything for yourselves. And if you try to do anything for yourselves, they say, we got to bomb you, we got to set you up, we got to destroy you, we got to do all kinds of things, because that's not your place. So that's what they're celebrating. They're celebrating 250 years, meaning since their quote-unquote independence, 250 years of completely shaping us and making us to be the sweat equity vehicles to allow all of them to prosper. But yet we are so dumb and deaf and blind, we'll be celebrating with them with a red, white, and blue hat on, jumping up and down. And while you're jumping along with them, they're looking at you and say, you're the reason why we're having such a good time. And you don't see anything. And then you'll go home and you'll face lynchings. You'll face racial profiling. You will face all kinds of, when you go back and look in your areas where you live at, you got all kinds of crime, drugs, and everything else. Even if you live in what you might call an affluent neighborhood, there ain't no blacks really living like that. Huh? Just because you got a house with some grass around it, you think you're doing something. You don't understand when people say, I got multiple vacation homes. Airlines, they park a damn jet. They have a runway where that's their driveway that they're flying all over the world. You can't even fathom that kind of liberty. You can't even think on that level. Talking about some we're just as equal with the prosperity as white folks. No, they're celebrating the fact that we're in complete dominance. That's how they want it. Y'all all right? All right. So, like I said, America is celebrating their 250th year of independence from the seventh head, Great Britain. Could we get there the image of, that's right, put it on the board. Okay, this is what we're talking about. America came from here. Yes, we can really go into some history on how all of this thing came about. Like I said, the classes that came before me did a very excellent job. But I want to go into how the psychology of how we got to where we are. I want to go through the steps that brought us to where we are now. So you can compound this along with the classes that went down. So as you see, the seven heads, this is in the Bible, and we're going to read that in a little while. The seven heads, this is what the Bible records in the book of Revelation chapter 12, verse 3. Give me that real quick.
Yes, sir. The book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon.
And behold, a great red dragon. This red beast, this red dragon is talking about red people, a red nation. Let me get the chapter where you're at. Read that again.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon.
A great red dragon. A great red dragon. Red dragon. I'm looking now. Give me. I think it's the chapter 18 where it tells you about what this beast is. This beast that John wondered about. Where it says it's at the end of 18, I think it is. 18th chapter, last verse.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 24. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of...
I'm sorry, the 17th chapter. Yes, 17th chapter.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 18. Mm-hmm. And the woman which thou sawest is...
That great red dragon. That's the woman that is basically talking about is the eighth head that came from the seven. Okay, we're going to go back over that. That's America breaking away from Great Britain. Read that again.
And the woman which thou sawest
and the woman that thou sawest, the woman was the eighth head that came from the seven heads, which is, put the image back up there again, which was Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, and then you see Great Britain. Great Britain. And then, well, no. Great Britain is the seventh. The eighth head is America. I almost read this thing wrong. I'm about to say, I hope they didn't mess this up when they put it together. So y'all see it. Greece, Rome, Spain, France, that's 4. 5 is Germany. 6 is Russia. 7 is Great Britain. Y'all all right? Mm-hmm. And from that seventh head came America, and that's what they're celebrating. They're celebrating 250 years being broken away from Great Britain. Y'all all right? So this eighth head is what we're talking about here in Revelation 17, verse 18. Read that again.
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
So why did the Lord have to explain this to John? Because this eighth head, when it was being broken down to him in the earlier parts of the chapter, that was a mystery to him, meaning to John and to and everybody else. It's a mystery to who is this eighth head? Who is this one? Because the other 7 were back there. They just had different names. But the eighth head did not exist in actuality. It existed in spirit, meaning that it was spiritually in existence, but it did not have a physical footprint on the earth. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let's get that. Read that and then jump up to the earlier parts of this chapter.
Yes, sir.
Read that again, that verse you just read.
Verse 18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
So that 8, it says, and the woman, which is that eighth head, which thou sawest, is the great city, that's America. America, the great city, which reigneth, which rule over the kings of the earth. America is ruling over everybody. So that's who this is describing. The Lord is describing this to John. That's what's happening here. Christ is revealing this to him. Now go up in the chapter.
Revelation chapter 17. You want verse 10?
Verse 5.
Verse 5, yes, sir.
We're going to break it down.
Revelation 17, verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written.
Start with the 3rd verse.
Verse 3. So he carried me away.
You can really start, but I'm not going to do it. You can read this whole chapter, but I'm going to just do verse because I got a lot to bring out and time is running. So
yes,
make
sir.
sure your notes are together.
Revelation,
3rd verse.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
So that's what John was in mystery over. What is this beast that he sees? He saw, read it again.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
He saw a woman sitting upon a scarlet-colored beast. So this woman was somewhat different than the other beast that she was sitting on. I want y'all to understand what you're reading here. This chapter is going into America. That's what this chapter is talking about. Ain't no Christian ever going to tell you nothing about this at all. Read it again.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
Sit upon a red beast. Now, put the image back up there again. So y'all got this, but I want the one that we had before right, this here. And I'm glad the graphics are done right. When I say done right, they got the 7 heads and all that, what you see on the side there. But you notice that it's got the 7 heads in somewhat of a different color. And then there was some thinking putting into this. I like when the brothers put their mind together when they do stuff. And the sisters, there'll be sisters that be getting down with this too. But you notice the 8th head is somewhat of a different color than the 7 that's there. Y'all feel me? Because it's letting you know that this 8th head rode upon the 7 heads. Read that again. Read that 3rd verse.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
Sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Go ahead.
Full of names of blasphemy.
Full of lies. This particular beast was full of lies. America is full of lies and blasphemy. They call themselves Christians and they call themselves Jews, and they're neither one. They lied on us. We're the real Jews that they drug over here and subjugated us into all kinds of evil. They came over here and murdered the Native Americans. The brothers and sisters that was here in this country, they wiped them out. Damn near wiped out Gad and Reuben. Wiped them out. And then they're going to talk about justice and all this BS. Read.
Full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads.
And this particular head here, America, had what?
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
The 10 horns. Look at it. Go back to the picture. The 10 horns, these are the horns. Horns means power. Horns means power. So America extracts its power from these 10. These are made to fortify. This is NATO, basically. These things are set up to fortify the endeavors of the main beast, America. Y'all all right? The G20 and all that stuff. This is what, even though they try to add different names and cut them up and divide it and all that, no, you fit the prophecies of this Bible. You're the red nation. That's the reason why the Most High said red. Why would he even call it red if it wasn't talking about you? Most High got your card. Read.
Verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold.
So she was arrayed in purple and what? It says she was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. She had rubies, diamonds, riches. That's what it's talking about. It's because she was decked out. Why? Because she stole the riches of the other nations. That's why it's talking that way. Okay? Because she stole and robbed all the nations. That's why when we read in the last, go back to the last verse. We're going to do some jumping, Liam. We're coming back here.
Yes, sir.
Go to the last verse of that chapter.
Verse 18, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over
Which do what?
Reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Made them all drunk by the wrath of her fornication. That's what their democracy is all about. That's what their foreign policy is all about. They make the nations drunk with the weapons and the lies of their Christian programs and all that, and indoctrinate and subjugate all of the nations to follow their dictate. Go back to the scripture where you was at.
Verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations.
Full of abominations.
And filthiness of her fornication.
You read that right, too. This place is loaded with all kinds of abominations and filthiness and everything. This place here. Go ahead.
Verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations.
Mystery. Mystery means, who is it? They had to be said that way because, especially at that time, because nobody knew about this 8th head which came up now. That's what we're talking about. But it was in the spiritual prophecy of coming. That's the reason why John was able to write it. Christ showed it to him. Now, when you go to Thessalonians, give me that Thessalonians, what is it, 3 and 3? What's the
2 Thessalonians
2
2.
Thessalonians 2. Give me the verse. You know what I want. The mystery of iniquity.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity.
For the mystery of sin. Who is the devil? That's what it's saying. Who is the evil one? That's what the mystery of iniquity. Iniquity means sin. So who is that man of sin? That's what it's saying. And it's a mystery, meaning we don't know, meaning nobody's directly pointing at it. Give me Isaiah 14. Give me Isaiah 14. The verse that I want is 12. Start with 12. Isaiah 14 and 12.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
You're the devil. How art thou fallen from your... This chapter here in Isaiah is future prophecy of the destruction of this very kingdom that we're in. Are y'all all right? The very destruction of it. That's what we're reading. This is the past tense. Okay, read it again.
How art thou fallen from heaven?
How art thou fallen from heaven, from your rulership? Go ahead.
O Lucifer.
Oh, Lucifer, you told everybody else that you was the bright star of wisdom. That's why I was using the word Lucifer, meaning light bearer. That's what that so-called Lady of Liberty, Statue of Liberty, that's what these people, these witches are the ones that make all these symbols up. These statues and all that, they know what they're doing. Here go the poor blind Negro. He don't know what the hell's going on. But they know what they're doing when they set these things up. Read that again.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Oh, Lucifer. Oh, Lucifer, the devil. Go ahead.
Son of the morning.
Son of the morning. They're saying that they are the bright star of wisdom. They are the bright star of education. They're the bright star of justice. That's what they try to tell. We are the ones with the democracy. Come, you want to talk about justice and judgment? Come to us. That's a complete lie. But that's the facade that they put on it while hiding the evil that they've done to us. Read.
How art thou cut down to the ground?
The Most High is telling you, he said, how art thou cut down to the ground? This is the past tense, breaking it down of showing you that they're going to be destroyed. Go ahead, read.
Which didst weaken the nations.
What did this beast do?
Which didst weaken the nations.
Which did weaken the nations with bombs and Christianity and democracy and lies. That's what they did. That's how they got all of the nations to serve them. That's how they were able to rule over them, that beast that reigneth over the earth, because they weakened the nations where they don't have the strength to fight against this beast. Read on.
For thou hast said,
Go ahead.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Airplanes and space travel. That's this beast doing that. Go ahead.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
He says, the Most High said that we're supposed to dwell on this earth. He said, no, I'm going to go beyond your boundaries, Lord, and I'm going to put stuff out there in the heavens. I'm going to put stuff out there in outer space because I go where boldly no man has gone before. I get to do that because I'm God. That's how he thinks. The Most High got him thinking that way. Read.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
What is the congregation? The Lord's people. I will also sit upon the mount of God's congregation in captivity. Read that again.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation of God. I'm going to bewilder them. I'm going to bewitch them. I'm going to trick them. I'm going to lie to them. I'm going to give them Christianity. I'm going to give them these evil holidays. I'm going to completely psych them out and make them think that the Bible is not talking about them. They're sitting on your thinking and your mentality. Read that again.
I will sit also.
I will sit, in addition to going out there into the heavens, I will also sit upon the mount of God's congregation. Read.
In the sides of the north.
In the sides of the north. In the sides of the north. Meaning is talking about this hemisphere where we're at. Now hold that, I'm about to do something. Because we're going to keep, Liam, we got to finish reading some more in this.
Yes, sir.
But go to Jeremiah 16 and verse 14. Jeremiah 16, verse 14. I want to pull out that word north for a second. In the sides of the north is where he's sitting on us. Let's see what else is happening. Let's see what else can we bring up about the north.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
It shall no more be said. Your voice dropped down a little bit. Come on. Read it again.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord.
Therefore, the days come, saith the Lord,
that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
It shall no more be said that the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, because that's still in the news now. But the problem is the way they sat on us and they sat on our mentality. The world do not know that the Bible is talking about us. That's how well they hit us. And they manufactured the people called Jews and said that these are the people that the Bible is talking about. A total lie. You're the Jews. You're the Israelites. So what did they say? Read that again.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt. That ain't going to be said no more, because that is still on the people's minds now. Because the great deliverance of what he's going to do now is going to cause that to no more be said. That's the reason why I'm saying it that way. So something beyond galactic got to happen to make us stop talking about how the Lord delivered us from Egypt, from ancient Egypt. The Red Sea, all the destruction, the 10 plagues and all that. Something's got to be so spectacular and so magnificent and so marvelous that it'll make you stop talking about that. That's going to be when he delivers us from here. Let's see what the Bible calls it. Read.
But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel.
This, in other words, this is what the people are going to talk about. This is where that miraculous, marvelous, spectacular deliverance. Read that again.
But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
From the land of the what?
From the land of the north.
The same place where we're being oppressed at. That's what we was reading in Isaiah. Y'all getting this? In the land of the north. So when that happened, that's going to shake up everything. Give me Wisdom of Solomon. Let me throw one more in there. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 2. The 5th chapter, verse 1 and 2. Come on. This is what's going to be even more spectacular. That's going to make everybody forget about what happened in ancient Egypt. Listen to this.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
That's what you're being taught now. We have to be bold among our enemies that are literally praying for us to remain slaves, praying for us to be able to do nothing for ourselves. They want to continue to exploit and dominate, and for us to do nothing for ourselves. They want to continue to do that. Read that again.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
But in the middle of that psychological tyranny and that physical tyranny that we face, the Most High said that we're still going to stand in great boldness. Listen.
Before the face of such as have afflicted him.
We're going to stand before the face of those that have afflicted us. So in their minds, it said there's no way in the world they're supposed to be standing up. We've afflicted them, and we mean to keep them into the corners. We mean to keep them hidden. Did we finish reading that in Deuteronomy? We have scattered them in the corners?
We read that, Bishop.
Yes, sir. Read that again. Where you at?
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Before the face of those are our enemies that have afflicted us. So we were not brought over here for anything but to be their slaves. That's their mentality. And how do they know that? Because they know our Bible. We're going to get ready to get deep. You're going to find out all about this. The book of Eli all over again. Because they know what this Bible is about. Y'all all right? But that's what they understand. As we are sojourning, I got to use that word loosely. As we're sojourning, they said just stay in your place, because that's the only reason why we brought you here. You are the fuel, you are the burden bearers of the real Americans. And our celebration is celebrating the fact that we've dominated you for 250 years. That's what they're really celebrating. Read that again where you at.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
Then shall the righteous man, us, stand in great boldness, listen,
before the face of such as have afflicted him. And
so in their mind, they're like, what is this? You old uppity. What do you mean you standing up? What do you mean you trying to get out of your place? We need you to be in your place. That's their mentality. I don't give a damn what they say. That's what they really mean. Some of them will straight tell you that. And here you trying to get out of it. In their mind, they say, oh, you trying to get out of it. You should love being under me. As a matter of fact, he calls it sick when you try to get away from him. Drapetomania. Y'all ever heard that term before? Drapetomania. They say it's a sickness to want to run away from master. They said a so-called Negro or a slave that seeks freedom from good old master, because he'll say that he ain't good at all. But he'll put that out there, the arrogancy of these demons. And the fact that you want to get away from such a vile snake. They said something is wrong with him. He's better off being with me, being whipped, burned, raped, castrated, lynched, hung, tortured. And because you want to get away from that, he'll put it out there and say something is wrong with you mentally. You have something that he made up, drapetomania. But that's their mentality. Read on. Read.
And made no account of his labors.
Didn't give a damn about all the work that we did beyond 250 years, damn it. Beyond that. Made no account of what we did. The Negro sitting up there with some daggone top hat on and stripes and all that mess on his head, dancing and jumping up and down. What the hell is he celebrating? 1776, his black ass was still in chains. You know, I should have researched this deeper. But I think I might, some historians, y'all can correct me. I might have this wrong, and I didn't really dwell on it like I wanted to. The Statue of Liberty that sits in the New York Harbor, if you've ever visited it, you don't get to see the feet of the statue. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Can we find some images of the feet? So somebody said it. It has chains on it. There's chains at the bottom. You want to know what that's? And like I say, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Some of y'all were better in U.S. history than I was. Because, you know, they didn't want to teach me too much. You dig it? But that's, if my intelligence serves me at least kind of decent, it is a symbol that this Lady of Liberty has broken away from the grip of Britain. But there's images that shows clearly that yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's a better one. Y'all see that? That's what that was representing. That's what that was representing. So they'll understand that about breaking away from such and such, but we can't have that. We can't want that for ourselves. You got people coming over to Ellis Island and all that, looking to this here. That is a symbol for them. Meanwhile, we are in slavery up underneath this very system. And it probably took some work to find this, because I understand that they got this thing around it and all that. It's really hard to even get these kinds of images. But I'm just throwing it out there. Y'all all right? Where was I at in the Bible? That Wisdom of Solomon. Come on, let's get some more of that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
When our enemies see us stand up with great boldness, they shall be shaken and what does it say?
They shall be what? Troubled with terrible fear.
They shall be troubled with terrible fear, because they know who they have in captivity. They know who they have in slavery. So the point is for you not to know who you are, but they know who you are. And we're going to prove that. Y'all all right? We're going to get them parts in. They know who you are, but they don't want you to know who you are. And as long as you don't know who you are, you will subject yourselves to inferior behavior. You will subject yourselves to mediocrity in your walk, in your aspirations, in your endeavors. You will shortchange yourselves, because you will think no more of yourselves other than what they taught you to think of yourselves. Read that again.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
So the terrible fear is you breaking out of that sickness and recognizing who you truly are. And when you do that, that's when the world is going to catch hell, because they say that means the God of these people is soon to come. And that's what they're today, this day here, they're praying against that very statement. Do you understand that? They're celebrating to make sure that we stay dominated. To make sure that we stay dominated. Read it again.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
They shall be troubled with terrible fear. Come on.
And shall be amazed.
That's the part that I wanted to get to. And they shall be what?
Amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
The strangeness of the Lord's salvation is not only the people who he's going to save, but how he's going to do it. Read it again, and then take me back to where I was at.
When they see it,
When they see the salvation of how the Lord is going to save us.
they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Because our rise represents how we going to, our rise tells them we expect a deliverer. We expect Christ to come back. We expect the deliverance and saving from the hand of our enemies and all that hate us. Once we start looking for that, that means you can't buy us off. That means you got problems. Because we know that our God is coming to kick your ass. Okay, read that again.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Listen.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of...
Amazed means your mind is blown. What the hell? Your mind's, whoa, you all on that level. They shall be amazed at the what?
The strangeness of his salvation.
At the strangeness of his salvation. The strangeness of God's salvation was written in the Psalms. That's what we read earlier. 10,000 shall fall at thy side, another 1,000 shall fall at thy left hand, but the destruction shall not come near you, because only with your eyes, as you're being delivered in that strange salvation, you will behold and see the destruction of your enemies.
That's right.
You will see the destruction of your enemies. That's a beautiful thing, man. You see the destruction of your enemies. That's the strangeness of his salvation. Read.
So far beyond all that they looked for.
When them chariots do those maneuvers and chase the daggone colonels and them admirals that be flying around trying to figure out what's going on in outer space, the angels chase their ass, terrorizing them. Say, now go back to NASA headquarters and tell them that I came in the ship with you, sat on the seat beside you, then I got outside and became big as the earth. You go tell them that. And then they sitting up there telling us, I've never seen it. Has no propulsion. We don't even understand how it moves. No propellers, no jet, no nothing. They up there bugged out trying to figure out. The Lord is, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, they sit up there trembling.
When they come back to earth, they got to do a debriefing.
They sitting on there.
Bugged out.
They bugged out seeing seeing what them angels doing out there. You got to think about the strangeness of the Lord's salvation and the power on how these angels move, man. They move with thought. Can I get that real quick, Liam? I know I got you going on, but just make sure that I don't lose my spot. I got to bring this in because I got to get back to the seven heads. I got to bring these things up to you. You got it?
Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 12.
Yeah, let me hear it.
And they went everyone straight forward, whither the Spirit was to go, they went.
And the chariots, that's what we're reading about. Read that again.
And they went everyone straight forward, whither the Spirit was to go.
Wherever the Spirit was to go,
they went.
They went. Stop right there.
Damn.
Everywhere the Spirit went, the chariots was there. We were in Liberia a little while ago. We're sitting here. I ain't going to say where we're at because I know the people looking for me. Can you dig it? But we're sitting here. And Liberia is a long way from here. Read that again.
And they went everyone straight forward, whither the Spirit was to go.
So our spirit can put a thought in our mind to say, you remember when we was in such and we saw such and such in Liberia? You can think about it, and as fast as you thought about it, you can be from here, you could be there. That's the speed that they move. They move at the speed of thought.
Instant.
What the hell could you do against the strangeness of that kind of salvation? Wherever the spirits think to go, they're there already. They don't need jet fuel. They don't need no propulsion. They say it flies and leave no sound. The wind is undisturbed, no turbulence or nothing. Damn, that's what's coming to get us. Shit.
Yeah.
They can't do a damn thing with them angels. Read that. Where you at?
Whither the Spirit was to go.
Wherever the spirit of the angels was to go,
They went,
They went.
and they turned not when they went.
And they turned not when they went, meaning they did not have to like aim themselves. They just be, and they are. You can't do nothing with that. They as big as the chariots can get. Let me just tell you the kind of power that we're talking about. As big as the chariots is, right? Get that in Zechariah. Let me just give you an example. Let me just do this real quick. Zechariah chapter 5. Read about the flying roll real quick. Another part of Ezekiel talks about a wheel within a wheel. But I'm just throwing these different things out here just to show you the magnificence of what we're reading in Wisdom of Solomon. Liam, I know I got you all over the place. Just remember to go back to my spots because I got to eventually get back to Revelation. You all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come on.
Zechariah chapter 5 and 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll.
A flying roll. Come on.
And he said unto me, what seest thou?
What you see, Zechariah? What you looking at? Come on.
And I answered, I see a flying roll.
I see a flying roll. Listen.
The length thereof is 20 cubits.
So he's giving you the size of it. The length of it is 20 cubits. That's almost like a yard. 20 yards, right? Go ahead.
And the breadth thereof 10 cubits.
And the width of it is 10 cubits. That's a pretty sizable ship. Go ahead.
Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth.
This is the curse, meaning the chariots. I'm going to send the chariots to terrorize my enemies. That's what the Lord is saying. This is the curse that I'm going to send to destroy the nations. Read.
For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it.
So when Zechariah looked up, he saw written on one side of the ship, everyone that stealeth shall be cut off according to what's written on that side of the ship. Read.
And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as one that side according to it.
And everyone that does what?
And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it.
So on the other side of the ship, everyone that sweareth shall be cut off according to what's on the other side of the ship. Listen. So that's what it's coming to do. America is a major thief. Okay? And she's an amazing liar, swearing, saying that they're the Israelites, saying that they're the Jews, saying that in God we trust and all that. Lies. And saying that they are not a thief. They got on their money, in God we trust, and the damn gone territory where the courts are sitting at is stolen property. I can't understand that kind of logic at all. Talking about some justice and judgment. No, this place got to burn, man. The hell with that. Yes, sir. Come on, bring it out.
You know how you know that this ship was huge? How could he make out the words from where he was standing? Because you know how a billboard is up there. You know how, to us, we see the words as if we're looking at something right in front of us. Mm-hmm. But if you actually got up there close to the billboard, you realize that those words are 15 feet high, 20 feet high, just for you to be able to make it out from the ground. So how is he able to look up at it and read what's up there if this thing wasn't humongous?
Exactly.
It had to be huge.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Verse 4, I will bring it forth.
I will bring it. I will bring it forward. Them chariots that can move at the speed of thought. I will bring it forward. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
And it shall enter into the house of the thief.
And it shall enter into the house of the thief, America. That's the reason why they're complaining about it now. That's the reason why they're talking about Star Wars and all that, because it's invading it's just popping up when it wants to. Just showing up when it feels like it. And it shall do what?
Enter into the house of the thief.
And what shall it continue to do?
And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name.
And those that lied on the Bible, that swear falsely with your Christian garbage. You took my Bible and you put your nasty hands on it, and you told the nations that the Bible was about what you're doing. Meanwhile, my children of Israel is suffering up underneath your brutality. Read.
And it shall remain in the midst of
and it shall remain, that it can't get rid of them. Read.
And it shall remain in the midst of his house.
And it shall remain in the midst of his house.
And shall consume it.
And shall do what?
Consume it.
And shall what?
Consume it.
Go ahead. With what?
With the timber thereof and the stones thereof.
Meaning fire and brimstone destruction. That's what those chariots represent. They know that. Now, go back to Wisdom of Solomon. Let's get that strangers and then go back to Thessalonians. Let's backtrack.
Yes, sir. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Now you understand why they acting up the way they acting up. They're trying, they having such a fit that the Israelites are waking up. Believe me when I tell you that. Believe the Bible. Read.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
And they're trying to keep it silent, but they're amazed when they go out there, because they ain't even supposed to be out there anyway. They're out there trying to mess, and the Lord said, okay, well, I'm going to show you a little something. They said, basically, I saw this in a documentary. They did a reenactment of it, but what the real astronauts really went out there and saw when they went out there, when they was doing those Apollo flights and all of that. They said that, do you think that those beings out there, do you think that they need all that crap in Florida to get two men on a bicycle up there in outer space? Understand what that statement means. What they saw with the maneuvers of the chariots, the technology and the stuff that these things can do made the whole NASA program look like a bicycle. That's what he was saying. That's what he meant when he said that. He said, do you think that these beings that's up there, you think they need all this garbage that you got down here to get two men up there on a bicycle? Y'all get it? That's the strangeness of his salvation. And they said, we can't let them talk. That's why they got to debrief them, like to your point. We can't let them talk, because they be saying, oh, they're black. They might say that. They said, well, what did they look like? They came and they were, come on, say it. They're black. The damn TV goes buzz, damn plugs get pulled. Y'all all right? Where we at, Liam?
So far beyond all.
Some footage? Okay. Okay. Read.
Yes, sir. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
They shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation when he comes to save you. That's what's going to make you forget about Egypt. There ain't nobody going to talk about Egypt at all when this kind of deliverance come. When that Psalms 91, those attributes that's written in there, when that stuff get the rolling, ain't nobody going to think about Egypt at all. This is going to make everything look like nothing. From the sides of the north, in the north country. That's what it says. Okay, there's another scripture that literally says the north country in Jeremiah, the same scripture. Okay, what is that, Jeremiah 49 or something like that? Just read that one and then we go back to where I was at. Yes, saying the same thing. They use the word country in this one. Say it again.
Jeremiah 23.
Okay, 7. Let me hear it.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 7.
Read.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord.
Come on, turn them up. I'm going to hear you.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Because everybody's still talking like that, because the Lord has not made his grand debut, his second debut to take us out of here. He didn't do that yet. So everybody's still talking about when we was in Egypt, when we were in Egypt. Go ahead.
But the Lord liveth.
This is what they're going to say. But what?
The Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out.
Ooh, I like this one. Which did what?
Which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country.
Did y'all get that? The Most High is coming back to take us home. Okay? From the north country.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's go back to that Isaiah, and then we go back to Revelation.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
I will sit upon the Israelites and keep them in ignorance and evil and sin and the evil that we do to each other. They keep that going. Go ahead.
In the sides of the north.
In the sides of the north country, North America. That's why it's saying it that way. Okay? Go ahead. Is there more on that?
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. Go ahead.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to destruction. Go ahead.
To the sides of the pit.
To the sides of the pit. You're not going to stop your downfall. Okay? Read on. There was a reason why I went here, because we would read. Where were we reading that before? Thessalonians, and about him exalting him. It was something about.
Yes, sir. And Revelation as
it was
well.
about him being revealed as the wicked. That's what I was talking about. That's what it was.
Yes, sir.
Keep reading. I got my thought back. Keep reading. You're on track.
Isaiah 14, verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly...
Did you skip anything?
No, sir.
Okay, read.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee.
Now I remember where I was going. I was talking about the mystery.
Yes.
Because he's a mystery. Everybody acting like they don't know who he is. Read that again.
They that see thee...
They that see thee...
shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man?
Is this the what?
The man?
The man of sin. That's where I was going. The man of sin. Lucifer. That's what the chapter is going into. When you look at verse 12, just read the top part of verse 12 again, because again, this is showing you that this mystery is Esau. Read it again.
Isaiah 14 and 12.
Listen.
How art thou fallen from...
How art thou? Thou is you. The Bible is pointing at him. How art thou? Go ahead.
Fallen from heaven.
How art thou fallen from your rulership? The Bible explains how it's going to be done. Go ahead.
O Lucifer.
Oh, Lucifer. You're the devil. You're the man of sin. You're the evil one. You're the 666, the dragon and the devil. You're all that. Y'all all right? Now go back to the 17th verse. The verse that you was at.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee.
They that see you shall narrowly look upon you. Go ahead.
And consider thee, saying, is this the man?
Is this the man? So that Lucifer is a man. Is this the man? Notice what it said. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon you. You know what it means to narrowly look at somebody? That means you squinting. Understand what this is saying? I'm going to break it down. You ready for this one, Cap? When you think about it even in a spiritual sense, if you narrowly look at something, that means you're removing out of your periphery the rose-colored glasses about who these people are or who they tell you. In other words, you remove the facade. You remove the glitz and glamour. You remove the so-called imagery and all of the stuff that everybody going crazy over. Oh, they're so this. They're so handsome. Oh, the white woman and her pretty blonde hair, such as that. You're going to remove all that garbage out your way, and you're going to see exactly who he is. Narrowly, like you taking a good look, like you really examining that thing. Read that again.
They that see thee shall...
They that see thee, what's going to cause them to see thee? The Bible. The Bible is going to reveal who these people really are, and people are going to start to recognize, say, wait a minute, you ain't Paul. You're not James. You're not John, Peter, Matthew. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's going to be a problem. Read.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee.
They that see them, Esau, shall narrowly look upon them.
And
look upon Esau. Go ahead.
And consider thee.
And they're going to consider. Consider. They're going to wait. Consider means wait a minute. We're going to move back. Wait a minute. Hold it. You'd be like, hold it, brothers. Wait. Do you realize what we're dealing with? You'd be one of those kinds of things. That's when you talk about considering, like, let's remove all the BS and let's see what we're really dealing with. So consider these, saying what?
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
That made the earth to tremble. Is this the man that made everybody afraid, that shook kingdoms, that reigned over the whole earth, like it said in Revelation, that made all of the nations drink of the wine? That's what that's talking about. It's all saying the same thing. Go ahead.
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Well, dropping bombs on the kingdoms, that's how he shook them. Whenever he would come to your land like Trump did to Maduro, you come into the other man's land and take him out of his land. And everybody basically just stand by. That's the kind of terror that we're talking about. Y'all all right? I'm telling you, the Bible is unfolding and people acting like it ain't saying nothing. Y'all gonna burn for that. The ones that's playing with this Bible. Read.
that made the world as a wilderness,
that made the world as a wilderness, destroyed the air, destroyed the water, destroyed the people's minds. Here you got a man being born, penis and a testicle. You got a woman born with a vagina and breast and everything else. And the deal is they're talking about something they're confused. That did what? Read that statement again.
that made the world as a wilderness
And polluted the minds. Go ahead.
and destroyed the cities thereof.
The people's minds are messed up and the cities are messed up. That's what you're dealing with now. So a man that's why the Bible says folly is set in great dignity. Folly. A fool is running this planet. That's what that's talking about. Everything is all messed up. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. We're living in hell. We're living in hell. Y'all all right? Just want you to understand that. Yeah, I'll come to that image in a minute. That's pretty good. All right. Come out of that. Go back to Thessalonians, and we're going back to Revelation. Because what am I doing? I'm talking about this eighth head that rode upon the back of the seventh. That's what I'm dealing with. Everybody's all right? Thank God I didn't get lost. I was like, y'all all right? I know I went on. Read.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7.
Yeah, because I don't want to go off on a tangent. That was my point. Okay? Go ahead, read.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
For the mystery of iniquity, that's that man of sin that we were talking about. Okay? That's who we're talking about. That Lucifer. For what?
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Doth already work means it's already in power. This is the time of Rome, the church of Thessalonica, the Israelites that was in Thessalonica. Esau was ruling over them as the Romans. Y'all digging this? So when the question came up about who is this man of sin, when you read that third verse on down, read that third verse.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
This is what Paul is telling the Israelites. For that day shall not come, except the Israelites go in complete captivity, like where we're at now. All this is prophesied. Our deliverance is also prophesied. Read.
And that man of sin.
And that man of sin, there we go again. And that man of sin, the mystery. And that man of sin, go ahead.
Be revealed.
Be revealed. They shall take a good look at him and consider these saying. He said they shall narrowly look upon him and recognize, wait a minute, this man is the devil the Bible speaks of. Keep reading.
The son of perdition.
The son of hell, the son of destruction. So that's who he is. The son of perdition. Keep that word in mind. Perdition. Because when we go back to Revelation, you're going to see that word again. Y'all all right? The son of perdition. Perdition means destruction. He was made to be destroyed by God. He's the vessel of God's wrath. You cannot get out of it. Okay? Y'all all right? Keep reading.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
What did this devil do?
Who opposeth.
He opposed God. He opposed the Bible. He opposed all righteousness. Thou child of the devil. That's in Romans. He says, what did it say? It says, thy enemy of all righteousness, thou child of the devil. Acts 13. Okay? He was getting on the sons, what is it, sons of Sceva? Was that was the vagabond Jews or something like that? Yeah, Elymas the sorcerer. That's it. That's him. That's him. Read.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
Who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God. By put that up there. Don't put it up there too long now. Maria. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is. I'm looking at Issachar. He's mad as hell. You all right? You're going to be all right, man. Give him a glass of, lemonade. Read.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
Who opposeth, this man opposed everything in righteousness, thou enemy of all righteousness. Elymas the sorcerer. Yeah, that's what it was. Read.
Or that is worshipped.
Or that is worshipped. Wait a minute. All that is, what the hell is a Negro doing? Talk about top hat, stars and stripes on his forehead. And your ass was in chains when they started celebrating, when they marked their first year of quote unquote independence. Your ass was a slave. And ain't nobody thought about getting your ass out of slavery. After slavery, Jim Crow, black codes, you name it, all types of things that was levied against us to make sure that we never prosper. I'm talking about celebrating. Read.
So that he, as God,
he pretended to be God. Go ahead.
sitteth in the temple of God.
He created churches, built these big monuments up here and all of that, and put them stained glass windows and all that. Got this thing hanging over Rio de Janeiro. I think that's where this one is at, right? This big, ugly thing here. Why ain't enough birds ain't shit on it?
Damn. Damn.
Go ahead.
So that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
So he made everybody think that he's God. He made everybody think that he's the bright star of wisdom, the bright star of justice and all that. It's all saying the same thing. Lucifer. Read on. Where you at?
Verse 5.
Come on.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things?
Come on.
And now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
His time is to be revealed today. He's being revealed now. Go ahead.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Now he's taking it back to when they was literally in Rome. He says, because, that's what for means. Because the wicked is already ruling over us as the Romans. He was pointing, letting you know who the devil was. Paul knew that. Okay, read.
Only he who now letteth will let.
Only the Lord who now allow him to continue to rule will let him rule. Listen.
Until he be taken out of the way.
In other words, when their time is up, they're done. That's it. So the sand is running out of the hourglass. And every so-called Negro that's tied up, the Israelite, Hispanics and all that, that's tied up with them, your time is going down with them. When they go down, you're going to go down too. All right, so get me back to where I was at. Where was that?
Revelation.
Yes. 17.
Yes, sir.
Put the thing back up there again with them 7 heads. So, again, you got the 7 heads: Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, and Britain. Those were the 7. And then from that 7th head came that 8th head, America. Y'all all right? We're getting ready to get into it now. Y'all okay? Revelation 17. Let's go.
You want Revelation chapter 7?
What verse were you in? 4 or 5?
We're in 5 now.
Okay, read.
Revelation 17, verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery.
Mystery. That's how we got into all of this. The word mystery. Mystery, like, who is it? Where's this? What are you talking about? Because it was a mystery then. This particular beast did not even physically exist during the time when this was written. Read it again.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery.
Mystery.
Babylon the Great.
Babylon the Great. Babylon, land of great lies, land of confusion. Babylon, Babel. Go ahead.
The mother of harlots.
The mother of whores. America bangs all the nations and make them get in bed with her, so you can understand, and make them follow her ways. And if you don't accept America's ways in their foreign policies and so forth, and their political agendas and so forth, they cut your monies off, they cut your food off, they put embargoes against you, sanction you. You can't even sell your own goods, stuff like that. You're trying to tell Iraq and them over there, top of the Strait of Hormuz, that they can't move oil. Stuff like that. That's a clear indication of what we're talking about. What other country could do that? What other country can do that? Or has done that? Nobody. Only this beast can do that. Read.
The mother of harlots.
The mother of whores. The whorehouse.
and abominations of the earth.
And this place is also the abominations of the earth. The worst abominations of all times is right here. And the worst thing about it is that the abominations are so magnificent. And the sicknesses is so pervasive. The people who are subject to the abominations think that they're in heaven. Boy, that's a hell of a drug. You understand? We've been messed up so much. We're literally drowning in abominations. But the microwave of the filthy spirits have zapped your brain into thinking that this is utopia. And we're living in the greatest abominations of all times. Right here. That is a level of, that's indescribable. That's divine sickness almost. Read.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
We're going to talk about that. The blood of the saints with the history. We're getting ready to get into some of that. And I saw the what?
The woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Meaning that America drank our blood in captivity and robberies and rapes, castrations, you name it. Slavery, all of it. That's what they did. Drunk captivity upon us. Murder. Read.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus.
And they also killed the martyrs of Jesus. Our people. A lot of our people trying to do right. And they have knocked them off. Come on.
And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
I wondered with great admiration because I don't see this beast in full existence, but I'm getting the understanding of it in a spiritual sense. And this thing, when this thing comes, it's going to be crazy. That's what the writer wants you to understand as the reader. Y'all all right? Read that again. Let's move on.
And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
I wondered with great admiration. Come on.
And the angel said unto me.
Hold it. And the angel said what? What verse are you in? You're in 7 now, right?
Yes, sir.
Come on, read.
And the angel said unto me, wherefore did thou marvel?
Hey, John, why are you marveling? Why are you bugging out? Don't worry, I got you. I know I showed you some stuff that's bugging you the hell out. Read that again.
And the angel said unto me, wherefore did thou marvel?
Why are you marveling? Go ahead.
I will tell thee the mystery of the woman.
I will tell you the mystery of this woman.
And of the beast that carrieth her.
And I will also tell you about the beast that carrieth her. Go back to that image with the 7 heads again. I will also tell you about the 8th head. Do y'all see that on the board? That's the woman. He said, I will tell you about the 8th head, which is America. And I will also tell you about the 7 that carried her. Y'all all right? Read.
Which have the 7 heads and 10 horns.
So this 8th head has the 7 heads in her wings, so to speak. Read.
The beast that thou sawest.
Read that again. The verse right before that. There was a word I didn't bring out.
Yes, sir. And the angel said unto me, wherefore did thou marvel?
Come on.
I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her.
Come on.
Which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns.
That's the part of it. And the 10 horns. Which have the 7 heads and the 10 horns. I wanted to say that. Go ahead. Now read.
The beast that thou sawest.
Hold it. He said, the beast that you saw, John, that you're marveling over, that you're bugging out about,
was.
Hold it. The same thing that was said in Isaiah. They have to narrowly look upon him to find out who he really is. A mystery. Thessalonians, the mystery of iniquity and that man of sin had to be revealed. Because if he's not revealed, he remains a mystery. He's a mystery. He remains a mystery. The mystery is getting ready to get cleared up. The Most High is having this scripture broken down to John. Through Christ. Christ was the one that was given to him. Y'all all right? Read that again.
The beast that thou sawest was.
Hold it. The beast that you saw, John, that you're marveling over, the beast that you saw, that 8th head that you saw, go ahead.
Was.
It was in your vision.
And is not.
But it is not in your time yet. It's not in existence yet. That's why it's different color. Come back up here again. That's why it's highlighted in a different color here. That's why I said the brothers whoever did this, they knew what they were doing. He made it different from the 7. He or she. Because we got women that's on fire with this stuff. So all praise to the Lord for that. Read that again.
The beast that thou sawest was.
It was in your vision, John.
And is not.
But it is not. You got to think about it. John is the one that's writing this. And as John is writing it, he's bugging out by what the Spirit, what Christ is showing him. He said, yes, I see it. Like Habakkuk, he got sick. He said, Lord, he got sick. It made him dizzy. He said, just help me. Just let me be asleep when that time comes. It's just too much for me. So here's John bugging out. He said, what is this? And I'm marveling, as John would say. Christ told him, said, don't worry about that. I got you. Read that again.
The beast that thou sawest was.
The beast that you saw, John, was. Read it again. Hold on, stop. Read it again. I want to stop at the words. I think there's comments behind it. Let me look at it. Okay, read it. Read it like it's written, because it's written that way for a reason. Read it again. What verse are you in? You're in 8.
Yes, sir. Revelation 17, verse 8.
Come on.
The beast that thou sawest was.
Stop. The beast that thou sawest was in your vision, John. Go ahead.
And is not.
But it is not in your time yet. Go ahead.
And shall ascend out.
And it shall, it's a future prophecy. And it shall do what?
Ascend out of the bottomless pit.
Out of the bottomless pit is Europe. That's Britain and all that. It shall ascend from them. Shall come from them. Go ahead.
And go into perdition.
And go into what?
Perdition.
Didn't we not read that word earlier? The man, the son of perdition, is letting you know that this devil is who we reading about. And a Negro told me something, let's be shortened to 4 for you. You don't reckon we're reading about the same thing that our people are jumping up and down, talking about some celebrating. Read.
And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was.
When the people behold the beast that was in John's vision.
And it's not.
But it is not in, and it is not in that time yet.
And yet is.
And yet it is coming. And yet it is coming. Read that again.
When they behold the beast.
When the people behold, because we're here now. Listen, we're here now today. When we behold the beast that was in John's vision, go ahead.
And it's not.
But it was not in John's time yet.
And yet is.
But yet is, it is coming.
And here is the mind.
And yet is, yet means it's going to come later. Like the Lord said, I will yet choose Israel. It's coming. This beast is coming. Read.
And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
On which the woman sitteth. On which the woman sitteth. 7 mountains means 7 governments. Read.
And there are 7 kings.
And it's naming them. And there's 7 kings. Go ahead. Meaning rulership. That's the reason why they said they had crowns. Go ahead.
5 are fallen.
5 of these kings are fallen. What was the 5? All of them except Rome. So Greece wasn't in power. You had Rome was. So Greece, Rome, Spain was gone in terms of it being a power because it wasn't called Spain. France wasn't in power because the one that was in power was Rome. Y'all understand that? Rome had dominated everybody. That's the point that I'm saying. Y'all getting this? Rome was Spain, France, Germany, and Russia. So you got Greece not in power, Spain not in power, France not in power, Germany not in power, and Russia not in power. There's your 5 right there. Y'all all right? Read.
And one is.
And one is, that's Rome. That's the one that had John on the island of Patmos. So that one was in power. Go ahead.
And the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
So that was when Great Britain was coming along. Great Britain is that one there. Now listen to this afterwards.
And the beast that was.
And the beast, so I'm taking you back to the beast that you saw, that you was marveling over, John. And the beast that was, go ahead.
And it's not.
But it is not in your time. It's not in existence. That's what it's saying. It's not in existence. Go ahead.
Even
that particular one
is the eighth.
Is the eighth. Go ahead.
And is of the seven.
America is of Great Britain and the rest of the seven heads. Go ahead.
And goeth into perdition.
There it is again. And goeth into destruction. So this kingdom is going to be destroyed. Damn. That's the history of that. No getting out of it. Y'all all right? So so as we look at this here, we see that this eighth head, because that's what we're talking about, the 250 years of them celebrating the continuance of their existence. Go back to the thumbnail. I'm going to have to explain the other part too. I'm going to get that in there. 250 years of celebration. That's them celebrating their existence as quote unquote America. 1776, the spirit of St. Louis, all that kind of stuff, right? You remember that? Okay. So 250 years of their celebration, and then 400 years of sweat equity. Sweat equity is us working to maintain this. Basically blindfolded, like slaves in the bottom of a ship that's rowing to make sure that the ship keeps moving. That's us. We're the workhorse. And they want to keep us in corners and don't want nobody to know that. Y'all all right? So, give me my video now. Let me see it on the board. That's what I want right there. Don't hit the button yet. Now we're getting ready to get into, like I said earlier, what's driving this whole thing? Like I said, the classes that the brothers did, Captain Gideon, Deacon Malachi, great information. But it's mostly, and I don't mean to use the word but what they were bringing out is relative to things that are happening in this country. I want to get into the psychology because I want to accentuate what they brought out by going into the psychology of these people before all of this was set up, because you got to deal with where the thinking came from. Y'all all right? So, enter Columbus, 1492. Hit the button.
Why did you wish to sail west?
To open a new route to Asia. Asia is the richest kingdom, the land of spices and gold. At the moment, there are only two ways of reaching it. By sea, sailing around the African continent. The journey takes a year. Or by land. But the Turks have closed this route to all Christians. There is a third way. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
Pause it. I want to make a statement. I want y'all to know something. Because Christopher Columbus, the demon he was, he had log books. He had records. You understand? He had all kinds of information about where the tribes were, because that's what he really wanted. He was looking for the 12 tribes of Israel. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you how his ancestors of the Greeks, their objective was to learn everybody's history. So don't tell me that Columbus was just out there floating into space. He knew exactly where he was going, and that's what his argument was about against these friars and these different people back in his day. He said, listen, I know that there's land out there because I read the Bible. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay. Hit the button.
The distance is unknown.
So that's the argument. The distance is unknown. What do you mean you talking about going out there? The distance is unknown. Go ahead.
To be infinite.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
Stop. How could he believe that? I know this is a reenactment. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm looking at a movie. This is actually from a movie. The Conquest of Paradise came out, I think, in 1993. I think it said it, 1992, and all that. So how would he know? Because he read the Bible. What I'm about to show you is that our enemies moved against us because they know that they had the green light to do so because we have broken God's laws. They studied to know that. As long as they keep us in sin and they keep us in evil, they will always have a foot on us. Have us tied up in these dumb holidays, that's a way that they stay in power over us, over all of us. Keep us in sin, keep us in debauchery, keep us in covetousness, keep us in lies and stealing and all that, fornication, keep us in all that evil. That's what it's designed for. Because as long as we are participating in evil, the Lord will not be with us, and our enemies have free reign to move against us. They even said it in their prayers. They accuse us to the Father day and night. That's in Revelation. Can we get that real quick? That's what they're doing today. Revelation 12 and 10.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 10.
I think that's the scripture, right? Read that.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ.
I'm going to leave that alone for now. I want to get to the next part. I'm coming back to that scripture. But here's the part that I wanted. Go ahead.
For the accuser of our brethren.
Who's the accuser? Esau. Esau is accusing our brothers, meaning our people. He's accusing us. Listen.
Is cast down.
Read it again. For the accuser.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
Come on.
Which accused them before our God.
They accuse us before our God. Listen.
Day and night.
They're praying day and night saying, listen, the Israelites are in sin. We got them sleeping adultery. We got them in dope. We got them getting drunk. We got them celebrating Christmas and 4th of July's and all that. We got them doing that. And look, these are your people, but they ain't no damn good, Lord. That's them accusing us. Read that again. Read that statement again.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God.
They accuse us before our Father. That's like somebody coming to your parents. You're the children of your parents, and somebody saying your daughter ain't worth nothing. Your son ain't worth nothing. Look at what your sons are doing. Look at what your daughters are doing. And you still trying to give them this, give them that. You still trying to give them blessings. You still want to hold your hand out and help them in this. Look at what they're doing. Meanwhile, you're setting them up to do that. The accuser of our brethren. That's what they did. Y'all all right? All right, where was I at? Yes, so the point is, because I'm going back to the film, the point is Columbus knew that. The Israelites have broken God's laws. They read the history more than we do. They read that. They read these things here. That's how they know that we're in sin. Like the Holophonies in the book of Judith. They knew that. Okay, so that's what Columbus understood. Columbus used the Bible to locate the tribes. He read that in order to exploit and dominate us into being slaves. Do y'all get what I'm reading? Do y'all get what I'm bringing out? He knew that we were not favored by God. And all I have to do is keep them in sin and I will be prosperous over them, just like Holophony said. So as long as we were in evil, it invites the nations to move against us because they said that God that hates iniquity is not going to be for them. They knew that. That's what Columbus knew. Play the rest of that. So he wasn't just out there in the wind like he didn't know where he was going. He knew exactly what he was looking for. He got lost. Yes, that's in the history books and all that. He ended up in India and thought he was somewhere else and all that stuff. You know, all that. They got that kind of stuff out here. But he knew where he was going. He knew what he was looking for. And I'm going to show you that they've been reading the Bible. Hit the button.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
How can you be so certain?
How could you be so certain? Stop. How could you be so certain of this distance? I just got through telling you that the distance is unknown. Nobody has ever done this. How could you be so certain? He's getting ready to give the answers. Come on.
The calculations of Toscanelli, Marin de Tir, Esdras.
Stop. So he was naming different people that attempted to measure the distance. But then he said Esdras, the Bible. Read that again. I mean, he said what? Back that statement up again. Let it play for me on out.
Certain.
The calculations of Toscanelli, Marin de Tir, Esdras.
Esdras is a Jew.
So what's worse?
2 minutes, and already you're a dead man.
For telling the truth?
Yes. We are burning people for less.
Okay, so y'all got that? That's in the movie. They'll put things out here in the movies because they know our people are asleep. Like I say often, they don't make movies for our entertainment. These people don't give a SH about your entertainment. They're trying to measure your intelligence to see if you're going to wake the hell up. That's why they put movies out here. Book of Eli, Natural Born Killers, all these different movies. It's to test to see if you're up on how smart are you. Do you know what we're doing? Because if too many of you know, then I'm going to have to adjust the Christianity dope. I'm going to have to adjust the educational dope. I have to adjust the television dope. I got to change the music. I got to do things to put you back to sleep because you're getting radical. You're moving outside of the parameters by which I said you should live. Once you think outside the box, I call you a radical. I call you an extremist. I call you an upstart. You're moving outside, huh? Hate group, all of those things. All of that is designed to psychologically trap you into following the code, to put you back in your place. To put you back in your place. Jump down. I'm going to get some because I talked about how they used things to manipulate us. Like I said, to keep us in our place. Bishop sent me a video. Not long. This is way down in my lesson, but I'm going to have to bring it in now since the subject is here. Move down. Let me see. Right there. That's what I want. When I talk about how they shape how we move. Y'all all right? Because like I said, nothing is out here for your entertainment. Even the music that our people listen to is not for their entertainment. Everything that's allowed to get to your ears, to get to your phone, to get to your television, whatever it is, it's carefully sculpted and manipulated to produce a kind of thought which will become your actions, which will become your destiny. We need to make sure that our slaves do not operate outside of the parameters of what we need them to be. And there's many different avenues on how they do it. Here's one of them. Hit the button. Entertainment used as a psychological weapon against our people. Hit the button.
Now let's take a look back at positive versus negative role models. In the Huxtable years, this is actually called the Huxtable effect in sociology. SAT scores for African American males and females went up. In 1990, 75% of black males graduated from high school. The Cosby Show mentioned that the kids were applying to Morehouse College. It's a black university. Well, in reality, the enrollments at Morehouse colleges went up 37% because of the Huxtable effect. Now, what's the Lil Wayne effect? SAT scores for black males went down. In 2010, only 47% of black males in the United States graduated from high school. That's down from 75%. Black males say, I like that record. I want this song. I don't want that song. That's a white guy who's making that decision. I like the song with the obscenity. I don't like the song with the politics. So we're going to have this one on the CD and not that one. You understand? Or you want to continue to work for us? So that's the story of hip-hop, according to Patricia Rose. It is the corporate sale of racism. So, for example, Edgar Bronfman, who is the CEO under whom Liar Cohen works, who deals with Jay-Z, Edgar Bronfman is worth between $2.5 billion to $4 billion, depending on the year. So these are white people who control this industry, and we don't know much about any of them. Okay? They're marketing racist images of black people, especially.
Did y'all get that? So that's how they keep us in our place. Like I said, nothing is put out here for your entertainment. It's all designed. You can see, because they spoke about the Huxtable effect. They allow that to see if, in fact, we do react to what we see in imagery. So we're going to allow the Huxtable thing to be out there. Bill Cosby thought that he can go and buy NBC. They said, listen, we ain't telling you to do that, and you keep messing with us. We're gonna make sure that you don't never see the light of day again. We'll find this Me Too movement and boom, and the rest of it, because we already know you did some dirt way back and such, and we'll just like the man said, you don't want to move with us, you're done. You understand? Because they're serious about that. Do you know how much of an economic advantage they have by keeping us docile in slavery? Their children are guaranteed prosperity from the moment they're born to the moment they die. They're serious about that. We need that sweat equity. That's how they talk. We need that labor. They talk about you like you're a damn cow or something. And they're serious about that denigration of us. Y'all all right? That's some stuff. Painful. Where we at, Liam?
We was at Revelation 12 and 10.
Okay, we read that. And we did a video. So, I was making a point that, like I was saying, the movie, that's what I was talking about, the movie, 1492, it was not put out here for your entertainment. That's the point. All movies and all medium, music, none of that is really for you to be popping into. They don't care about that. As long as you stay stupid and ignorant and sell dope with your pants hanging down, raping and banging your women, leaving them with babies, diseases, shoot them up, drugs, that's a benefit to them. Because you all going to jail. Sweat equity. Young. That's what they're looking for. So, we was talking about Columbus. I said that Columbus used the Bible to locate the tribes. Why? Because he wanted to make sure, in order to exploit and dominate us into being slaves. That's what the purpose of that whole thing was about. And then I wrote, because I want to make sure that y'all get this. He knew that Northern Kingdom was here. He knew that Gad and Reuben and them tribes, he knew that they were here before he sailed out. That's the movie was. They ain't gonna tell you everything in the movie, but if you know history, you could pick up on certain things. He knew that. So I wrote in my notes here. So from Columbus's ancestors, meaning the Greeks, they learned to search out everyone's history. Alexandria, that's a place where Alexander had his quote-unquote library. To know, he wanted to know he wanted to know their strengths and their weaknesses, meaning all the nations. I'm about to show you something. Just like the king of ancient Babylon, the ancient kingdom of Assyria moved against northern kingdom first. The history. Assyria moved against northern kingdom. Y'all all right? When they moved against northern kingdom and took northern kingdom into Assyria into captivity, then Babylon came into power. Babylon took down Assyria, took Assyria's captives, which was northern kingdom, then they moved down to get Judah. They put Judah in captivity. So once Judah was brought into captivity, all 12 tribes was in captivity underneath the Babylonians. Then the Persians came in. Cyrus, the Most High moved the spirit of Darius, gave him the power to overthrow the Babylonians, and in so doing, a proclamation was made between him and the Most High, put it that way, because he allowed Israel to go back and build Jerusalem. Y'all understand that? And from that point is where the bulk of the tribe said, we're not going to do this. We're going to go into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Y'all all right? This history is written in the book of Ezra, E-Z-R-A, in the Bible, and it's also written in the Apocrypha, 2nd Esdras. That's the same Ezra, by the way. There's 4 books of Ezra, by the way, so you can understand. Ezra, Nehemiah, and then you have First Ezra, which is the 3rd book of Ezra, and then the 2nd book of Ezra, which is what's known as the 4th book. So it's 4 books that's detailing this history that I just gave y'all. All right? All right, everybody's with me. So now, like I said, his ancestors, Christopher Columbus' ancestors, the Greeks, their mission is to learn and search out everyone's history, to learn their strengths and their weaknesses. That's what Holofernes said. What is the size of their army? Who's leading them? This is what nations do when they want to conquer you. They need to know what held you together as a nation in the first place. I just can't move into the taking you down if I don't know what united you, if I don't know how to deal with the strong man at the door. He's got an alarm system. He got weapons. He got this. I just can't roll up in there. I got to find a way to move all of those things out. I need to know what his weakness is in order for me to exploit his goods, which means his women and his children and his men, to make them slaves. I can't get there if there's a fortress that I don't know about. I need to know where their strength is at. So Alexander wanted to know. I'm going back now to the Greeks' history. He wanted to know these things. Y'all all right? So, to know their strengths and their weaknesses, just like the king of the ancient kingdom of Assyria moved against northern kingdom, that was the first thing. And then the kingdom of Babylon moved against the southern kingdom, both knowing that God was against us for our disobedience. Y'all understand? So that emboldened them to do what they needed to do. But how would they know when to move against us? Because they have to read our Bible and then examine how we're behaving. And if they see that we're behaving outside of what we're supposed to do, then they too can accuse us to our Father day and night. Y'all all right? Give me my next picture. Enter Josephus. Show the book. We're going to go inside the book. Flavius Josephus was a first century historian, basically, who recorded information about what was happening during the times of Rome, the destruction of Jerusalem, and so forth. So he wrote down a lot of history in this book. Y'all all right? But he's going to particularly speak, the section that I'm going to go to is I'm going to talk about Alexander. Y'all okay? Let's go inside the book. Remember what I'm talking about now. Okay, now hold. Let me see where I want to start off with. Let's see. Yeah, start up above that. Come up. The occasion. Move up. Slide up.
The occasion was
No. Go up to get he procured. We talk about Alexander, and we talk about the Greeks. Okay, it's going to clear things up. Demetrius, these guys were sent to collect books to bring them to Alexandria in his library. Don't that sound familiar? Remember the book of Eli when he was sending them guys out looking for the Bible? A lot of times people be watching movies, don't know what the hell they're looking at. It's repeating it, so that's exactly what they did in the movie. Read that. He procured
the law to be interpreted and set free those that were come from Jerusalem into Egypt.
Come on.
And were in slavery there, who were 120,000. The occasion was this: Demetrius Phalereus, who was library keeper to the king.
Come on.
Was now endeavoring, if it were possible, to gather together all the books that were in the habitable earth, and buying whatsoever was anywhere valuable or agreeable to the king's inclination, who was very earnestly set upon collecting of books, to which inclination of his Demetrius was zealously subservient. And when once Ptolemy asked him how many 10,000s of books he had collected, he replied that he had already about 20 times 10,000, but that in a little time he should have 50 times 10,000. But he said he had been informed that there were many books of laws among the Jews worthy of inquiring after.
So here's what I want y'all to understand. If the Greeks are talking like that, because you got to understand, Esau takes care of Esau. They'll get the books. When they died, they passed the books down. The Romans came from the Greeks. Spain came from the Romans. So that history goes all the way down. So Columbus got that understanding. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm talking real facts here when I talk about how they deal with books. Me and Deacon Asaph, New York, we used to go to this bookstore in New York, 12th Street and Broadway. That's where this bookstore called Strands was at. We was just buying books like crazy. I bought a book. One of the books that I have had a note written, because it's used, had a note written, my dear friend Raymond, best wishes. I think 1987, I think that's what the date of such and such. And it was a gift to a man named Seth. So they would buy the books, read through them and all of that, and then pass them down. Because maybe he passed away. They said, he said, we need to know about these Israelites, but we don't want them to know about it. That's why they were so mad at Leonard Jeffries when he was in the school system teaching. He was trying to go into the history. They would get mad at all these guys. Edward Scobie. When you look these guys up, they was making a whole lot of trouble in the college scenes because Amalek runs that. And they said, you're getting too close to the truth, so we're going to disband you and all types of stuff. Say he's anti-Semitic, all that mess, and took this man out of his tenure. A tenured professor, they got rid of him because he was getting on their behind about going into them records. They said, we don't want them to get too deep. So they'll make up and manufacture. Oh, you have it. There it is right there. Look at that. Damn, y'all found it. I didn't even think I gave it to y'all. This is from my book. April 25, 1987. Dear Seth, best wishes to you on this special day, Raymond, Montana. That's in the book. The name of the book is Jewish Civilization. That's the book. I'll bring the book in and show it to y'all in case y'all doubt me, if they let me. When I say if they let me, they might say, oh, hell no, get them on the highway or whatever. Yeah, you got to think like that. Y'all all right? All right, let's get back to the reading.
And worthy of the king's library.
But he said, go back up there
but
again.
He said he had been informed that there were many books of laws among the Jews worthy of inquiring after, and worthy of the king's library, but which, being written in characters and in a dialect of their own,
in Hebrew. Go ahead.
Will cause no small pain.
It's caused great pain
in getting them translated into the Greek tongue.
But he still wanted those books. Y'all all right? Even in the book of Eli, the Bible was in Braille. He needed that woman to interpret that thing. That little connection there. Come out. I'm going to go to another part of the book. Zoom out. Go to the next page. You can see. Let's read some of that. Read all that.
When?
Yes.
When thou, O king, gavest to me a charge concerning the collection of books that were wanting to fill your library, and concerning the care that ought to be taken about such as are imperfect, I have used the utmost diligence about those matters. And I let you know that we want the books of the Jewish legislation.
Meaning our legislation. Talking about us. Go ahead.
With some others, for they are written in the Hebrew characters, and being in the language of that nation, are to us unknown.
Come on. Jump down.
Now it is necessary that thou shouldest have accurate copies of them. And indeed, this legislation is full of hidden wisdom and entirely blameless.
That's what they're saying about the Bible. They know that the Bible is a true book. There's another part that I didn't give y'all because there's a section in here, I want to make sure I remember it correctly, where you had the Levites, I believe, that came and showed Alexander himself the book of Daniel. I was going to send it. I said that'll take me off my topic a little bit. And he showed it, and he perceived that the one that he showed him in the Bible was talking about himself. He said, that's talking about me. First over Greece. Yes, that's in this book. Read on.
And indeed, this legislation is full of hidden wisdom and entirely blameless, as being the legislation of God.
As being the legislation of God. So we, with our dumb selves, the nations know that our Bible is what's happening. And we're messing up, and it's their desire to keep us messing up. As long as we keep messing up with our God, they can exploit us forever. Because we don't know the power of that book. It's not just a book. It's a weapon. That's what he said, didn't he? He slapped the dude upside the head. He says, not just a book. It's a weapon. The man told me something. It's just a book. That dude went off. What the hell you mean? It's not just a book. Right. Oh, man. Hold on a second. Wow. You know, I got this daggone thing now. It's talking about, because I hit the thing, and it's basically trying to make an emergency call thinking that I fell. Ain't that something? This is the devil the Bible speaks of. Satan, bro. Yeah, man. Shoot, the hell is this? Oh, man. Where am I? Come on, read.
Since it is a holy law and ought not to be published by profane mouths. If then it please thee, O king, thou mayest write to the high priest of the Jews to send 6 of the elders out of every tribe, and those such as are most skillful of the laws, that by their means we may learn the clear and agreeing sense of those books, and may obtain an accurate interpretation of their content.
Do y'all hear what are y'all paying attention to what's being brought out? Keep reading.
And so may have such a collection of these as may be suitable to thy desire.
So he said, you want this in your library because this is where it's really at. Keep reading. Come on.
I have determined to procure an interpretation of your law and to have it translated out of Hebrew into Greek and to be deposited in my library.
That library was called Alexandria. It was in Alexandria. So he had the records of all the nations. So what is the point that I'm bringing out? You can read the rest of that. Bring it on now.
Thou wilt therefore do well to choose out and send to me men of a good character, who are now elders in age, and 6 in number out of every tribe. These, by their age, must be skillful in the laws, and of abilities to make an accurate interpretation of them. And when this shall be finished, I shall think that I have done a work glorious to myself.
Because he would know all things. That's why they want that book. You're the children of that book, but you're not made to understand that on purpose. To have our people tied up in this stupid mess talking about some 4th of July. You have no idea how simple you are. Our brothers and sisters with this craziness. Okay. Give me the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 17. I'm just going to touch on this. Was there more screenshots? I think that was it on that book, right? Okay. Judith, chapter 5, verse 17.
Yes, sir.
While you're getting that, I just want to send a shout out to my brothers and sisters who are watching online. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Thank you for joining us. So all praise to the Most High. I hope that you get a lot from this lesson and continue to build your faith in this truth. Okay. So I'll say that. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. Read that. Judith chapter 5, 17.
Judith chapter 5, verse 17.
This is what the nations know. And here's a biblical example of what we just read historically.
And while they sinned not before their God.
So that was the question. How do we jump up to the verse, I think it's verse 3. Just touch a little bit of that when he started asking questions about us.
Yes, sir. Verse 3, Judith chapter 5, verse 3. And he said unto them, tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is.
Who are these? Because he's saying he don't know who they are. He sees us coming out of the Persian captivity. And he said, why they're not coming to honor me? Go ahead.
That dwelleth in the hill country. And what are the cities that they inhabit?
I need to know what their strength is. I need to know where their power is. Go ahead.
And what is the multitude of their army?
And what is the multitude of their army? What is their strength? Come on.
And wherein is their power and strength? And what king is set over them?
So basically, that's what they do to us. They need to know what keeps us, they need to know where our power is. And once they've learned what is vital to us, all they have to do is remove that. What's vital to a man with his family is the man at the door with the stopping power to make sure that you don't get nowhere near his family. But if you want to exploit what's behind the door and get to his family, you got to find a way to take that man out. The man in our case, or the strong man in our case, is the Bible and our adherence to the Bible. When we stop adhering to the Bible, that's when you basically got rid of the strong man, and then our goods could be spoiled. Whatever we hold could be taken and robbed and plundered, pillaged, and everything else. Read.
And what king is set over them, or captain of their army?
So he wanted to know all of these things. Now jump back down to 17.
Was
there more in there? That was it, right?
Yes, sir.
For that verse? Okay, go back to 17.
Verse 17. And while they sin not before their God.
So he's explaining this to this king, to this governor, this, I forget what he was. Well, this chief over the working for the chief captain over the army. He's explaining because he's asking questions about Israel. And he's saying, how can we take them down? So he knows our whole history. He runs the whole history down, all the way down. And he lets him know the kind of wasp nest that you're about to mess with if it's connected with God. So he's giving them a warning. He said, let me tell you about these people. That's what the chapter goes into. Y'all all right? Read.
And while they sin not before their God, they prospered.
And so he's telling them, if they ain't sinning, they're going to prosper. So just like the music thing that we showed you earlier, their objective is to make sure that we don't keep God's commandments. And they tested us by giving us what they call the Huxtable effect. They wanted to know, are we truly dead? Did we kill them so much that there's no glimmer of them trying to do right? So let's test them by allowing them to see themselves in a positive right. And then to monitor that thing. The man has statistics. That means they're looking. You got to really think about that. We're going to give them the Huxtable effect, and we're going to watch and see if they respond to that. That means there's still some intelligence in them. So we have to let that go for a little while. Their scores increase. They were enrolled in college, all that kind of stuff. He said, if we leave this thing too much, it's going to get out of hand. So we need to give them some Lil Wayne. Give them some nigga music. Shoot them up. What up? Double Dutch. Give them that. To change them around. Then you get Julio Fulio, murder, drill rap, niggas. And a 20-year-old is doing life in prison, sweat equity. Y'all all right? That's the reality. Read.
Because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
The they is us. But when we departed from God's commandments, it's easy to destroy us. So they must keep us in sin. Think about that. They must keep us in sin. Read on.
They were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their God.
This is going back to the history that I was talking about. This is a time period where we were allowed to go back and build the temple. This is Zerubbabel, Nehemiah, Ezra. That's that time period. Y'all all right? Come on, read.
But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country. for it was desolate.
For it was desolate by the Babylonians when they first came in, and race it even to the ground thereof. That's that history there in Psalms 137. Y'all all right? Keep reading.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people.
This is the part I want y'all to get. If he said, therefore, my Lord and Governor, go ahead.
If there be any error in this people.
If they are into sin, if they're doing the stuff that's what we're doing now, 4th of July, all that BS, this mess with this music, this evil, debauchery, concupiscence, fornication, dope, you name it. If our people are caught up into those things, listen to what the Bible say.
And they sin against their God.
And we are found to be sinning against our God.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Let us consider not only the 250 years of sweat equity, let us consider that we'll keep these people as our engine, the fuel that we need to keep our engine going. Even though little Nooker is right beside me, jumping up and down with me with the fireworks and all that, he's the oil for the engine. Read.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
That's what's happening today. That's how they're celebrating that. Right now, they're celebrating this. Read on.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
They don't want that to happen. Y'all all right? They don't want that to happen. And that same knowledge persists even today. If they can keep us in sin, they can continue to exploit, dominate, rob, pillage, do all these things, and leave us in a wilderness of foolishness. That's how it goes. Okay, y'all want to bring something out before I move on?
And that's why they accuse us to the Father day and night. That's why when it said in Revelation 12 and 10 that they accuse us before our God, they put us in these debaucherous situations. The operant conditioning. That's what we was talking about that
Yes,
one day,
sir.
Bishop.
Operant.
Ivan Pavlov is his name.
Yes, sir. Yep.
He came up with something called operant conditioning, where basically through repetition they train your mind and your behavior. But then they sit back and what they say, the rock would throw your hand and throw a rock and hide your hand. That's what white folks do. They're masters at it. That's masters at it. They throw a rock, and then they hide their hand to make it seem like we ain't got nothing to do with it. Y'all don't want to abort y'all children. Meanwhile, they gave us the opportunity to do it, and they influenced it through the social media, through the pornography, and all those different things. So they got a hand in it. The Most High gonna deal with them for that. We just got to get our minds right and repent.
Exactly. So like I was saying earlier, our people have been seduced and induced to do all kinds of evil. And like I said before, I can only imagine what's going to happen this weekend with our people. You know, you got situations like I wrote, I said, I wonder, underneath all of the fireworks and all of the foolishness that's going to happen this weekend, how many more Mike Browns are we going to experience? How many more Rasheem Carters are we going to experience? How many Kendrick Johnsons are we going to experience? How many more abortions are going to be done to our women, where we extinguish our children because we feel like we have no hope? Oh, I'm pregnant, but I don't know what to do with this child, and it's going to become more a burden to me than anything else. No hope, no aspirations, no nothing. So these are the things that's led because we simply don't keep the commandments of God. So we got some work to do. Give me 2nd Ezra. Change gears a little bit. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, read verse 40.
Yes, sir. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Now, I'm going back to, like I was saying, I'm going to give you the psychology of how we got to this country. Like I said, I had a lot of information here. And it's like it's going to be hard for me to even get to it. But that's all right. I'm going to make sure that I get these things in down the road if I have to. But I'm going to stick on this. I done made the promise. Read on.
Whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves.
So this is some history here that y'all might not be putting together. Read that again, 40 and 41.
Yes,
Say
sir.
something.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria.
The king of what?
Assyria.
Assyria. That's before the Persians. That's before Babylon. Assyria. That's what I was talking about earlier. Read on.
Led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
So we was in captivity in Assyria. Okay? Read on.
But they took this counsel among themselves.
What is this counsel here? But they took this counsel among themselves. A whole lot of history is between those two verses. The counsel here is talking about us going back into Jerusalem and building, and this is during the time of Persia, under Cyrus. So you had an empire that was between Assyria and Persia, which was the Babylonians. So none of that history is mentioned in these two verses. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It jumped from Assyria to Persia, where we're considering this council to go back and build. Let's find out what the council is, in case people think I'm saying something crazy. Give me the book of Ezra, the first chapter. I think it's like verse 4. It might start at the top, but I ain't want to deal with that too long because I want to get to the rest of these points. But I'm doing that just so y'all know that what I'm giving y'all is correct.
Yes, sir. It's Ezra chapter 1, verse 3.
Yes, come on.
Who is there among you of all his people?
This is part of the council. Who is there among, read again?
Who is there among you of all his people? His God be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is
Who is this speaking, by the way? Who's talking here? Huh? Cyrus. So that was what I was saying earlier, the quote-unquote proclamation between the Most High and him to allow Israel to go build in exchange for being able to take down Babylon. Y'all understand? Okay, read.
Who is there among you of all his people? His God be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build the house of the Lord God of Israel. He is the God which is in Jerusalem. And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the man of his place help him with silver and with gold and with goods and with beasts, beside the free will offering for the house of God that is in Jerusalem.
So y'all get this? So that's what the proclamation was. That's what that was what was charged to Israel to go and do. Now go back to Ezra, second Ezra, which is basically the same book. We're in Ezra and we're going back to Ezra, another part of the history. Y'all all right? Second, let's start it off again, verse 40.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
You can actually read about this history in the book of Kings, by the way. Read on. Salmanassar and all that. Go ahead.
And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
And so came the Israelites into another land, which is Assyria. The they is the Israelites. Go ahead.
But they took this counsel among themselves.
The counsel is what we just read in the book of Ezra, Ezra. Read.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country.
Meaning they were going to not stay here. They were not going to stay in Jerusalem. They were going to do something different. That's what we're reading about here. Y'all all right? Read that.
And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
So you telling me that Columbus didn't? Columbus read this, and he knew the Israelites was here. That's why I showed y'all that film. He quoted it. And if you think movies is full of BS, this is actually in his log and in history books. One of the books I have called Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. There's a chapter in there that says Enter Columbus. And it tells you that he had records along with him about where the Israelites were. Read on. Where you at?
Verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Could we get a map showing that? Could we put a map up there? I should have sent y'all that. The Euphrates. Could we find something that resembles what we're reading here? I'm almost out of time. About another 20 minutes. Come on, let me see something on the screen here so I can tell what y'all doing. Map that shows the Euphrates River. Okay, I need a bigger map because I want to show not only that, I want to show coming down to Africa and all that. Okay. Help him out, Liam. Tell him what I'm looking for. I want something where I ain't got to be jumping all over the place. I can use one map to explain everything. Man. Come up. All right, see what you're doing. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right. Man. And I use that. I'm all over. Just give me something, brothers. Just give me something. Put something up there. I'll talk my way through it. Give me something where I can say Africa. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Okay. Now, on another map, it showed you where the Euphrates. Can we see the word Euphrates up here? Okay, I see it. Okay. Read that again. You see Iraq, Baghdad, and all that? Kuwait. Okay, so y'all notice what y'all looking at. Now, this piece of map here is going to come in handy because I sent some images that's going to resemble some of this. Everybody follow me, right? Okay, let's go.
Verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates.
Can we zoom in on that so they can see that word Euphrates a little bit? I know it's blurry. You see the Tigris. You see Iraq, Babylon. Do y'all see it, right, class? All right. It's not the best picture, but you can get my point. All right. So they entered into the Euphrates. Come on.
By the narrow passages of the river.
Read.
For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go.
And that's verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go. Listen.
Namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Arsareth.
And the same region is called Arsareth. We're going to deal with that word Arsareth in a minute. But I want to zoom in on the point where it says, for through that country there was a great way to go. Namely of a year and a half. Okay, that's what I'm going to deal with. Go to the next picture. I mean, what I got on the board is a book. I want y'all to look at something. Now, it's amazing you're here, Captain. You remember we was on the Quest? And we interviewed that sister. This is her book. Okay, Kim Cleet Long. She wrote this book. And I interviewed her, as a matter of fact. I was trying to find the pictures of us sitting together going through this thing. You got them? Okay. Just show one picture of that. Just hang on for a second, brothers and sisters. Okay. It's just one of those images. And it was a beautiful encounter on how we all met because the people on the boat was giving us a problem and she stood up to defend us. She was saying this group is peaceful. They ain't into no foolishness, and y'all are making a problem with these brothers. And she stood in our defense. And actually it was Captain Gedaliah that was dealing with her. That's how we get up. So you have that knack to getting people, you know what I'm saying? So it was a beautiful thing. But I mentioned that. Okay, they got the channel? Y'all got it? Okay, put it up there. This is the sister here, because I had a picture, right. So just show that. Okay, so this is the same sister. She's actually holding the book that I'm about to make a reference to. Y'all okay? So this is the sister that I'm talking about. She wrote this book. She has a museum. She's got all kinds of things in South Carolina. And guess what? We gonna go. I've been trying to, in Charleston. She got a whole lot of, she was telling me about it. She got a whole lot of stuff, and she would love for many of us to check it out. Y'all all right? So we're going to be dealing with that, you know. So shout out to the sister. It's a beautiful thing here. All right. So now let's get back to where we was at. The book. Okay, so this is the book here. Now, inside the book, let's go, because I'm going to talk about something, and I'm going to read the scripture again. You see this word, maritime trade and the movement of culture. Now, this is a book like for people that just want to get a basic understanding. You might look at the way the book is set. It doesn't really look like it's, like what you could say, collegiate or whatever. But what she was telling us, she was speaking about us and talking about the ports along the way. So go back to the Bible now. Wait a minute, let's get this part out the way. So you see maritime, this means what? Look up the word maritime, just because somebody might not know. Look up the word maritime. Maritime trade and the movement of culture. Let's look at maritime. What does maritime mean?
Maritime refers to things connected with the sea, oceans, or navigation.
I'm glad that we looked at it. Maritime refers to things connected with the sea, oceans, or navigation. Okay? Read the rest.
It primarily describes human activities such as shipping, commerce, and naval operations, but can also refer to regions, cultures, or climates located near the coast.
So my point, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because if it took us a year and a half to get all of us from one area to another, you don't think we were making stops? And we was running those ports. That was our people and even if it wasn't us particularly, we had understanding with the nations, whoever it was that we was passing by. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to go even a little bit deeper, just a little bit deeper in terms of that. So, did we get the other side of this? The other side of the book? I just want to make sure I get all the pictures out there. Okay. Was there something here? Read that. The importance of maritime trade. Let me just read this here.
Yes, sir. The importance of maritime trade. The Red Sea and Indian Ocean connected Africa to the wider world as early as the 3rd century BCE, enabling trade with Arabia, India, Persia, and China, exchange of goods like ivory, gold, and exotic animals from Africa for spices, textiles, and gemstones from Asia, cultural diffusion, where languages, religions, and technologies were shared among civilizations.
Okay, so that's all I want out of here for now. My point is to draw attention to the ports as we were traveling. That's the reason why I did this. Now, give me the Bible. Solomon had a navy of ships. 1 Kings 9, verse 26.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 9, and verse 26.
We're going to read 26 to 28.
Yes, sir. And King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion-Geber, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea, in the land of Edom. And Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea.
That's what we was reading about, those maritime persons. Go ahead, had knowledge of the sea. Go ahead.
With the servants of Solomon.
Come on.
And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold, 420 talents, and brought it to King Solomon.
So we're going to read 28 again, but I want to go to my pictures now. Go to my pictures. What's the next picture that I had? Hold it right there. Read. Remember that name? So now I do have a map of this as well, right? What's after this one? Let me just see over here. Okay, good. All right, come back. Come back to the other one. Read.
Ezion-Geber is historically located at the northern tip of the Red Sea's Gulf of Aqaba.
Aqaba. That's how that's pronounced. Aqaba, the Gulf of Aqaba. Go ahead.
Closely associated with the modern-day Aqaba, Jordan, and Eliat, Israel. The exact biblical port site is widely debated among archaeologists, with many identifying it with the ancient ruins of Tel el-Khelafeh, located about 500 meters from the current shoreline.
So now let's go to the map. I just want y'all to see that name there. See that name highlighted in red? So when we talking about Solomon's navy, we talking about that area. Okay, so he had ships dealing with all of this. Come on. You see the Gulf of Aqaba under it. You see it on the map? Can y'all see it? All right. Give me my next picture. Here's some more imagery, as you can see. Okay. Now, why am I showing this? Because this is very similar. This is very near the area of where the brothers entered into the Euphrates. It's in that same region. Y'all noticing this, right? So we had Solomon's time. We had maritime trade going on even then. So it was not a mystery for us to make it from where we were coming from out of Persia to come over to the Americas because those ports were there. Y'all all right? Okay. What I got after this? What's my next picture? Okay, now read the scripture. Read verse 28 before I show that.
Verse 28. And they came to Ophir.
And they came to Ophir.
And fetched from thence gold, 420 talents, and brought it to King Solomon.
And brought it to King Solomon. Show the map. So notice that Ophir is not far from the areas of what we were talking about. You see it there, right, brothers, sisters?
Sir.
Now give me the Bible. Isaiah 13 and 12. I'm just going to throw this in there.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12.
What's the next picture on the board here? What I got? What's coming up next? Okay. Hold that. Don't show that yet. Read.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
So we often read this, but we don't. I don't think we actually think about what the gold wedge, what gold of Ophir is talking about. We read it, and I think we just read and keep it going. And some of us will tell you it's the best gold, but we don't really go deeper into what is this Ophir gold stuff. Y'all all right? So that was it on the reading, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the picture. Read.
The gold of Ophir refers to an exceptionally fine, pure gold.
That's what the Most High is going to make you men.
That's right.
He's going to make us that pure, fine gold. Read that again.
The gold of Ophir refers to an exceptionally fine, pure gold prized within the ancient world.
Read.
Famous as the primary resource imported by King Solomon and King Hiram of Tyre. Its exact geographic location remains one of history's greatest archaeological mysteries.
Y'all get that? So now let's go back to 2nd Ezra. We're going to read 45 again, and we're going to move on.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Osiris.
So now it's logical on how it took them a year and a half, took us, I should say, a year and a half because we were making those stops. You understand that? That maritime ports and all that. We were dealing with all of that. Man, I'm telling you, but we really had our stuff together. So, and it said what? In the same region?
And the same region is called Osiris.
And the same region is called Osiris. Now, what's my next slide? Go ahead. What you got up here on the board?
Osiris, also spelled Arzareth, is a mythical region mentioned.
The white man's the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. He tried to throw you off by calling it mythical. The damn historians got it in their records. It's in the Bible, but yet, in case any of us find out about it, he think we're so dumb, all he has to do is say it's mythical. Oh, okay, and you discredit everything that I just went over. You just cast it out. But meanwhile, he have you celebrating damn 4th of July when your black ass was in slavery. You talking about some Easter Sunday, talking about some bunny rabbits and eggs and rabbits on legs, dummy. Christmas trees ain't got nothing to do with Christ. Light bulbs and some tinsel. Talking about some Jesus Christ, December 25th. What the hell that's got to do with the Bible? But yet when we bring out stuff like this here, the daggone snaggertooth white man put up mythical region, and you talking about some, oh, okay, that's garbage. You garbage, nigga. Okay, read.
A mythical region mentioned in the apocryphal book.
It ain't mythical, you bastard. Read.
Of 2nd Ezra, 4th Ezra.
Wait a minute. He said it's a mythical region. Why would the Bible put something mystical in the Bible? That shows you that shows you the absolute disdain for your intelligence. That's the absolute utmost insult to our intelligence. You're going to tell us that the Bible has a mythical region in it because you said it? You want me to believe that saucer was a stoolie? That Omar was a stoolie because saucer said it? You remember that in Scarface, right? Huh? You bought that line. No. You want me to believe that this is mystical because these people said it? Read the rest of it. It says what?
It is described as being another land located a year and a half's journey beyond the Euphrates River.
So you would have read the word mystical and you would have discounted all the rest of this. It is described as what?
It is described as being another land located a year and a half's journey beyond the Euphrates River, where the 10 lost tribes of Israel migrated and will dwell until the end of time.
So Negro will fall apart and will miss all of this here. Now let's go into the records and see if it is in fact mystical. James Adair. Oh, whoa. Was that the next thing? Yeah. Bring all that out.
Arsarith, the name of the land beyond is Jewish encyclopedia.
Jewish encyclopedia, but it's supposed to be mystical. Let's see.
Arsarith, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in the which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration. According to 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 45, Columbus identified America with this land.
No, you was reading that right. The 4th Ezra, meaning the 2nd book of Ezra. That's what I was saying earlier. Ezra and Nehemiah are the first 2 books. 1st Ezra and 2nd Ezra is book 3 and book 4. So that's why I'm saying it this way. So the fourth book of Ezra, meaning 2nd Ezra. Okay? Read that again. According to
4th Ezra, chapter 13, verse 45.
Go ahead.
Columbus identified America with this land.
So, wait a minute now. So that's telling you what he was doing when he said that he wanted to sail. He knew it because it was passed down from the records all the way from the Greeks. They do this. They pass these records to each other to know what to keep among themselves, but not allow you to get it. So he'll tell you mystical to shunt you back away from it. But meanwhile, they'll share that special information among themselves so they can know your strengths and you don't even know about your own strengths. You all right? What's after this? Yes. Here it is, Adair's History of the American Indians by Samuel Cole Williams. Okay? Come on, open the book. Read that. Come on, Liam. Let's go read a little bit of this. Or like it, who's ever got it. I want y'all to listen to this here. Talking about mystical.
The history of the American Indians, particularly those nations adjoining to the Mississippi, East and West, Florida, Georgia, South and North Carolina, and Virginia, containing an account of their origin. Language. Manners. Religious.
So all of this information is written in this book about what this man Adair observed when he came among them. Come on, read.
Religious and civil customs, laws, form of government, punishments, conduct in war and domestic life, their habits, eases, and methods of cure, and other particulars sufficient to render it.
Render it a complete, that's how it's written. Go ahead. You got it.
Yes, sir.
Sufficient to
render it a complete Indian system with observations on former historians, the conduct of our colony governors, superintendents, missionaries, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Also, an appendix containing a description of the Floridas and the Mississippi lands with their productions, the benefits of colonizing Georgian and civilizing the Indians, and the way to make all the colonies more valuable to the mother country, with a new map of the country referred to in the history by James Adair, Esquire.
Esquire. This man was a lawyer. Okay?
A
Go ahead.
trader with the Indians.
It's telling you about him. What did he do?
A trader with the Indians and resident in their country 40 years.
He spent 40 years among these quote-unquote savages, as somebody would say. Well, let's see what he found out when he was among these Indians. Next page. Hit the button. When I say hit the button, read. Come on.
A history of the North Americans, their customs, etc. Observations on their color, shape, temper, and dress. Observation on the origin and descent of the Indians. Observation and arguments in proof of
in what?
In proof.
In mystical.
In proof.
In proof. Go ahead.
Of the American Indians being descended from the Jews.
Read some of them things.
Their divisions into tribes.
Come on.
2, their worship of Jehovah. 3, their nations.
You can read faster. Come on, the time is running.
Yes, sir. Their nations of theocracy. The belief in the ministration of angels.
Hold it. That's the book of Corinthians. That the angel, what it say about the women have to have their heads covered? That's what that's talking about. What the hell would the Indians be doing with this here if they're not the Jews? Come on.
Their language and dialects.
Look for some of the more obvious ones, because there's a long list here. All of this we've been doing.
Yes,
daily
sir.
sacrifices, prophets and high priests. So y'all see this? Law of uncleanness. Their abstinence from unclean things. Their marriage, divorce, and punishment for adultery. The cities of refuge. The Indians is doing this. Look at this. They're looking at the bottom. Raising seed to a deceased brother. That's Bible. Arguments and proof. Next page. And it goes on. Okay. Their traditions. I'm just skipping through this. Give me now. I'm going to show you something. Yeah, I'm going to show y'all something. Because I'm going to move. I'm going to start. Got to wind it down now. So y'all see this. I'm glad you're panning it. Let the people see it. Now I got another page. Watch this. Go with it. Hit that one right there. Zoom in, because I'm going to look. Same book, History of the American Indians. I'm going to jump down. Move it down, move it down, move it down. Stop. I'm looking for something. Considering there. There was about 30 years. You see that?
There was about 30 years ago a remnant of a nation or subdivided tribe of Indians called Kanai.
Yeah, Kanai. Oh, that's, go ahead. Which what?
Which resembles the Hebrew proper name.
Of
Canaan.
what?
Canaan.
Canaan. They called themselves like they were going to the land of Canaan. That's what one of the tribes was called. So, to jump out of this for a second, because, let's see, there was something that said what it meant. It was like unknown. Let me see. Was it here? All right, I'm going to look for when I do the next, when I continue this class, I'm going to go and perhaps look for that part. Give me lost tribes and promised lands. Because you saw the word, you saw what the tribe was called, right? Canaan. Why would you think, so look, show the book. I'm about to wind it down. Believe it, all of this leads to where we at now. This is they knew what they were coming to do. I ain't really hit the stuff that I want to hit, but I could not skip nothing. Y'all all right? Had to give it to you like this here. I said I can't skip nothing. Y'all got to get it all. Y'all all right? So, lost tribes and promised lands. Promised lands. Promised. The lands were promised. That means they knew about this. That's the reason why they entered into the Euphrates in the first place, because they knew that this land was for them. Solomon's ships was coming over here. The book by Ivan Van Sertima. Hold on, don't let this thing start beeping again. Ivan Van Sertima, they came before Columbus. He was talking about Solomon's ships. Y'all all right? I'm just throwing these things out there. So, lost tribes and promised lands. Go inside the book. Let's read, Liam. You see the highlighted piece there? I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to stop after this. Read that.
Passages from Spanish explorers in the southern United States, 1528 to 1543.
Passages from Spanish explorers, meaning conquistadors, the people that came over here to pillage the brothers and the sisters of the southern United States, the same areas that we was reading in that Esquire book with James Adair. So here we're talking about with dates on them. This is the time period from 1528 to 1543. These are the records. Now I'm just going to jump to one piece and just end it. Go inside the book. Go inside the book. Come back out. Go inside the book. I'll deal with this next time I teach. I'm going to continue the subject. Go to the next page. I just want to come on. Let me see what's in the next one. Go to the next one. Let's just get the ending of it. Read here where it says his ancestors. This is talking about Francis. You had a Edomite, an Indian guide, Francisco and Montesinos. That's the two names that's involved in this thing here. And they was making a point about what his ancestors did to the native people that was in these lands here. All right, so that's what this is talking about here. Read that.
His ancestors, to their eternal shame, had indeed made war on them and
made
persecuted
war on
them.
these so-called Indians. These are the Israelites. Go ahead.
Only the sorcerers of his tribe had perceived that they were a special people.
He didn't listen to what his witches told him. He said, these are the Israelites, so you better be careful how you mess with them. His Jesuit priests, so you can understand. Go ahead.
And had given warning that they should be left alone.
You need to leave these people alone. The same thing that person that was with that, what's his name, Holophanes? What was that? Achior. Achior told Holophanes, if these people are following the laws of God, leave them alone. That's the same thing that's being said here. Read that again. Only the sorcerers
of his tribe had perceived that they were a special people.
Read.
And had given them warning that they should be left alone. The God of these children of Israel is the true God, they had said. And everything inscribed on their tablets is true.
What tablets? They had the Bible. What do you mean they did only an oral tradition? They had tablets, meaning they had the laws, they had things written down. Read. Come on.
At the end of days, they will be lords of all the nations of the earth.
At the end of days, so they knew the prophecy. At the end of days, come on. Read.
One nation will come bringing many things to this land.
The slave ships with Judah. That's because it's in the book of Ezekiel, it said that we were two different nations. Yeah, that's why it says that. It said that he would join the two nations together again. So one nation will come over to here. That's why it says that in Zechariah. It says that the Lord shall raise the tents of Judah first, so that his brethren don't magnify themselves against Judah, and bring him to his people. That's what the Bible says. So Judah was going to teach the rest of the tribes. Here we are in the 1500s, and they're bringing this information out. They didn't even, the King James Bible was 1611. So what records did they have before that? They had their own. Read that again.
One nation will come bringing many things to this land. And after we have all been provided for by
telling you that you're the Israelites, because they were going to lose their tradition. They were going to lose their heritage and all that. With all that's being given back through Judah. Go ahead. And one nation will come bringing many things to this land, and after we have all been provided for, go ahead.
These children of Israel will go forth from where they now are and reign over the whole earth as they once did.
As they once did. Okay, I'm going to stop there. So, 12 tribes. 12 tribes. 12 tribes. Brothers and sisters, stay tuned for Bishop Nathaniel coming up next. Happy Sabbath.
Yeah.
Put me back on. This is to be continued. To be continued. To be continued. I'm going to pick up right from here. Okay? And we're going to put it together in one long video. So you're going to see what you saw today plus the rest of it when I actually put it up. All right? All praise to the Lord.